Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the N.O.W show. Today's episode is called Doing Life, and I have with me three lovely guests. So do you guys want to introduce yourself, your name, and just tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
My name is Tundun. My friends call me TD. And basically I'm transitioning out of youth work back into qualifying as a barrister. So yeah.
Cool.
My name's Tariq. I'm currently a second year student in sports and exercise science. I love sports, so yeah, that's me.
I'm Tobi. I am a paralegal at a fintech company and I work in the regulatory compliance department.
Cool, thanks guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So as I said earlier, the topic of this show, or this episode rather, is doing life. So part of that, we're going to talk about the struggles that young people face in different areas. So you guys just kind of explain a little bit about what you guys do. So do you think, or what kind of struggles do you think that young people face in terms of their career and finding the right jobs for them? Like, is there that dream job that you aspire to, or does your dream job change over time? So what do you guys think?
I think for me, my dream job, it's still the same. So I still want to be like the top of my game, ideally getting into like the UN and international criminal law. But I think as you get older, it's trying to narrow it down, because when you're younger, they tell you, okay, just try everything, do that.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to the application process, you're just like, you start to hear different advices and you're just like, okay, wait, sorry, I'm not spreading it, I'm not winging it anymore. Okay, cool. Now it's time to center focus. So for me, I would say personally, mine hasn't changed.
Okay.
But I know for others, they'll start off studying law, for example. And I mean, worst case scenario, I know a friend that studied law but went straight into fashion doing something else. I was like, that's an interesting transition. So,
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I think our age sometimes can put a lot of pressure on us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So to say like,
that.
when it's like you're 18, 19, you should be on track to be doing something when you're 21, 22. I think that obviously comes with a lot of pressure, but at the same time, I think we need to just be able to just really yield and not be so conformed to think that age is like a measure of success when it comes to our field.
Definitely.
So I think with that, it kind of gives me personally like a bit more peace about, regardless of where I thought I would be at where I am, well, how old I am, there's still a lot of room and a lot of time for me to change or perhaps go even deeper into something.
Yeah, and get to where you want. It's funny that you spoke about age. Do you think that sometimes us as young people compare ourselves to other people that are the same age as us and think, oh, this person has done this and I haven't done this, or I have done this and this person hasn't done this? Do you think that also plays a factor in that struggle as a young person?
Definitely. I feel like we're even conditioned to compare ourselves to other people from when we're young. If you think about, I mean, I don't know how it is in this country, because we did primary school in Nigeria, and like at the end of every term they'd be like, who came first, second, and third.
Yeah.
So like from young, you're literally conditioned to compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
And then when you grow up and then let's say you finish uni, you're looking for a job and you realize how hard it is, and you just have to learn that like everybody's journey is different, and you have to unlearn comparing yourself to other people, because that would just bring you depression and like sadness. And everyone's journey is truly very, very individual. Like, just because your friend got a job within 2 months of graduating and you get a job within 9 months of graduating, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that you guys, everybody's journey is different, man.
in life,
That's just it.
And some people, like we said earlier, some people below at like 45, 50, 35. So I feel like
Yeah.
comparing yourself to other people, especially in the day of social media, it's so easy to compare yourself to
for
others,
sure.
because people are putting up everything they're doing.
Yeah, like, especially in the day of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like, I actually deleted LinkedIn.
This person got promoted, this person got promoted, this person got promoted, this person has a new job, and you're like, oh my god,
Like, what am I doing?
what am I doing?
And I actually deleted my LinkedIn from my phone. I'm not joking, because it was giving me like so much anxiety, and I was like, I was like, if I'm really serious about not comparing myself to other people, let me eliminate all the factors that make me do that. So I deleted LinkedIn from my phone. And also, like, LinkedIn only shows you like success stories. Nobody's out there saying,
No one is
by the
out there
way,
talking
I
about
failed
their
20 times before I got this thing. And then
That's
like,
true.
I feel like we need to be more vulnerable and open as to like the struggles and failures that we go through, and like normalize speaking about these things, because I realized that like when I was looking for a job, and it took me a long time, like, it's actually normal that it took a long time, but I thought that, oh, I'm this weirdo that it took me such a long time to find a job. Because somebody else that came to me for advice, and she was like, oh, I know somebody who's really struggling to find a job right now. I'm like, she shouldn't feel bad because she's meant to be struggling. Like, it sucks. Like, sorry, sis, but like, you're meant to be struggling to find a job. Like, that's just how it is. But like, those stories are not really out there much of like failure and struggle. So then when you're going through that, you feel very isolated. So I feel like we should be more vulnerable and open as to like the struggles that we faced and finding what our path is. And I don't feel like I'm meant to do just one thing in my life. Like, I might start off with this and then a couple of years later my mind might change, or I might find that I'm good at something else. I feel like you're multi-talented and you should explore all the different talents that you have, really. Like,
exactly. And what you do now can lead you to on the path to doing something else. You meet someone and you end up doing something completely different, and you never really know, oh, why did I do this in the first place? But everything aligns according to like what you're meant to do. So I know you spoke about like being supportive of each other. So do you feel like having a good support system is like really important, maybe in terms of your friends, your family? Like, how do you feel that ties into, you know, that struggle in terms of like your career or your dream job?
It's funny you ask that, because yesterday, so I have a friend that is a medical doctor, and so the plan was just to meet up because she was in London. So I was like, okay, cool, let's go meet up. And then she now said, oh, there's like a net, like a socials for doctors, and I was like, hi, let's go, hi. But then it turns out when I worked for it, it turns out that one of the gentlemen working there and now works in an international organization I'm trying to get into. And so we now connect based on that. And all it takes is just having an open mind, because you
never know who you're going to meet.
And I think our generation kind of sleeps on that, because it's just like, oh wait, what am I doing? Because a part of me was just like, wait, what am I doing at doctor's event? It's literally just hear them out. You really never know. Always have friends from different industries. You might get bored and decide actually let me go
do something else. Exactly. And you don't always necessarily have to talk about, you know, work with the person. You can actually just be like your personal interests that actually like make you guys bond. And like, even I find that at work as well, like a lot of the senior people in my office, like maybe like the MDs or senior managers, most of the time they actually don't want to have a conversation about work.
Though, like, if you've been at work all day,
from like 9 to 5,
work is stressing. The last thing,
like 99.
Like,
but
the last thing you want to talk about is like more work. And like, you want to also build like genuine connections with people, even though they're in your industry, and even though like your relationship started off on like a professional setting. It's really nice to meet people that you actually click with on like a human level too, because that gives your relationship just so much more. So I feel like,
and it seems more genuine than like, oh, we're forcing this because
exactly.
Definitely. So one thing that I do want to touch on is the aspect of friendship. So do you guys feel like, as you've gotten older, your circles of friends have like changed, or like you're not really friends with the same people that you were before? How do you think that kind of factors into, you know, your struggle, or has that been a struggle for you as well, or not really? Because I know some people say like, what's that saying, that some friends are only there for a season. So what do you guys think about that?
I think it's important, but also I think you got to look at it in the sense where like, if it's something that you want, that other person might, because they can't see it for you, they may not actually be in full support of it, because they think that what you're striving for, or what it is that you want or truly desire, is unrealistic. So with that, if that's your support crew around you, that's obviously, that's going to just bring you down. It's going to cause you to be disheartened. So that's not to say you get people around and say, yeah, you're going to do this, and just try and seek like all these false promises in order for them to maybe get some like monetary gain from you or something. But it's more just people that will tell you the truth. Like, if you have an idea, if it's a bit, whoa, like let's backtrack, let's talk about it, kind of thing.
So more constructive.
Exactly, people that hold you accountable, people that are gonna tell you what you need to hear rather than like what's just good to hear.
Exactly.
I think for me, I feel like I enjoy my friendships a lot because we all like value the same things and prioritize the same things. So therefore, like, I really respect the people that I have around me. So I had this one friend that I literally run all my life plans by her because I trust her opinion that much. So I think just having people around you that share the same values as you and prioritize the same things that you do. I also see the world in the way that you do too. Like, it just helps a lot, and you guys can actually just understand and relate to each other a lot. And I like friends that like encourage me to be the best version of me and encouraged me to be better.
Yeah.
I remember when I was going through my period of like looking for a job that was really hard for me, my friend kept telling me that you're not kind enough to yourself, you should be kinder to yourself. And, like, that's something I've even carried with me, and even at work when people are stressing out, I'm like, be kinder to yourself. And my colleagues are like, they always remember me saying things like, be kinder to yourself, or like, it's not that deep, because like nobody's dying, like it's not that deep, like relax. And like that's something I learned from my friends. So,
definitely. I also think it's important to have friends that you don't really feel like what you're going through, and you don't really feel like you're isolated in what you're going through. So sometimes like your friends actually feels like your friends are going through your own issue with you. So I feel like I'm blessed in that sense, that I actually do feel like I have friends that any little thing I feel like they're actually going through it with me, if that makes sense. But yeah, what do you think?
Oh, I definitely agree. I feel like going to what you were saying about being kinder to yourself, I feel like we're so hard on ourselves, especially when we're going through uni. We kind of feel like, okay, the first set of friends we meet in uni or even from childhood
Definitely
will be what the people carry, not realizing that we're going to outgrow them. And even our changes, like there's a saying my mom says, and then I realized that it goes into the Bible, which says you can't pour old wine into new skin, which means as you're growing and maturing, unfortunately, and also fortunately, your friendships will drift off. But then we're never kind to ourselves, because we're like, oh wait, was it our fault? We take it personally. Sometimes it might be personally, but it might be a projection as well. So it's like, if you don't have a set group of friends now, don't be hard on yourself.
Exactly.
You're fine.
And you meet people like
along the way,
you. Life is so funny, man. You feel like, oh, I know what's gonna happen, but you just
genuinely don't know.
Like you can meet people anywhere. Like so, even if you feel like you don't have like a good set of friends now, like be hopeful for a good set of friends, and it actually will happen. I remember like just before I started uni, I had like fallen out with quite a number of my friends, and I was kind of like, I don't even know why I had so much hope at 17 that like when I go to uni I'm gonna find like a really great group of friends. And I actually really did. So it's like that just showed me that like in life there are people that you definitely do outgrow, but then you will meet people along the way that are on the same level as you.
So you said how obviously you had some friends that you fell out with. So what do you guys feel about friendship breakups? Because people say that friendship breakups are like the worst.
Yeah, they're actually painful.
Especially people that like you genuinely care about and you're really close to. I feel like for me that's been like a struggle. Like I've had 1 or 2 friendship breakups that really like
painful.
Ached me.
And you sit down and you remember the good times, but
exactly,
like,
but then
exactly. Like, at some point also like enough is enough. Like you have to respect and reach yourself enough to be like, you know what, like I care about you, but like
this is too
you've
much.
Done too much now, so
especially
you gotta go.
people that you give chances like over and over and over and over again.
I think the length of the friendship can be really overrated in the sense that because you've been friends for like so long.
Like stop.
No, but like no, on the real, they're like, you see like you've been friends with this person like so long, like however long it's been, it's like you're just inclined to just like, you know what, we've been friends for so long. Like there's like, how am I gonna end it like over this? And it's like it's gotta go.
I fully relate to that. It's like you have to. It's like, and even within those, unless you've been friends with someone for like 7 years, within those 7 years you've grown and changed as a person, you've evolved. So who that person is, and my friend told me that she was like, you can't focus on the past, like focus on the present. Like who are they now? Who are you now? If those two don't align, then what are you doing?
It needs to go.
What are you doing?
Oh gosh. But yeah, may God give us and keep those good friends in our life.
And I think if you have good friends, also like appreciate them as well.
Exactly.
Like,
definitely.
I make it a point to like tell my friends how much I really do appreciate them, and how like their efforts towards me do not go unnoticed.
So the last thing that I want to touch on is mental health. So that's something that a lot of young people struggle with, especially in their 20s, just navigating like starting your life properly, careers, you know, friendships, like we spoke about, relationships, anything. So obviously we're Christians here. So what, you know, position or what role do you think the church kind of has to play, or if they have any role to play in mental health, especially with young people? So what do you guys think about that?
I feel like sometimes the church puts pressure on people to be a certain way, and that makes people, I feel like being young is about finding out who you are. And I feel like if you've grown up in the church, you have an idea of like, oh, I should be this way because this is what they said I should be from when I was younger. And this is what the church said that this is what makes a good person. And it's like, I feel like that's something you discover on your own. Like the church might be a guiding factor, but then it's still like, does this really sit well with my spirit and my soul? And so I feel a lot of people have a lot of conflict. Yeah, that's something I think
also we don't do a lot of unlearning. So 3 things. Gotta unlearn, relearn, and then learn. And you have to get to a stage whereby you're just like, okay, this served me up until a certain age. Now it's time to drop it. And a lot of things, we don't separate religion from relationship with God, and that affects mental health, because what if I don't have the strength to go for choir practice? Does that make me a bad person in church? Meanwhile, someone else is going to church 24/7 and child, amen, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Or sometimes you're just like, what is you doing in church? So I feel like stepping back and how does my relationship with God look like, and how does my mental health? So I do a lot of journaling now. I do a lot of confronting things that religion will tell you, just pray about it. Not saying prayer, it should be undervalued, but everything in balance. And yes, prayer is key, but then you can't just stay in the bed and say, okay, I'm praying against X, Y, Z, but then you're not doing the work.
Anything.
That works instead.
So exactly. God helps those who also help themselves as well. So do you guys think that, you know, if you were going through something or something was really weighing on your mental health, do you think that you can get the support that you need from church? Do you think that there are people within the church that you feel like you can go to speak to, or to ask for help? So what do you guys think about that? Tariq. I want to hear from you.
I personally, I think there is enough. Like, I definitely do think there are support systems and there's people that are there to help you. But I think it comes back to like, people need to like address where these attacks or where these problems are coming from. It's like people can come and say to you like, my mental health is like really, I'm struggling, I'm depressed, like I'm in a really low point in my life, but like what is causing you to feel like this? And I think when it comes like what Tundun was talking about with journaling, she's very honest and open with like, this is how I feel today. Today I'm not really feeling like whatever. And I think when you identify like if it's an identity crisis, it's because we're like worshipping other things, or we're filling ourselves up with other things. It's because your identity doesn't belong in those things. And maybe relearning, as she was saying, going back to the root of like what church should be about, because that's where our identity is.
Yes, that's true.
So really identifying what it is that's causing you to feel like what it is. And there's so many people, it doesn't even have to be like the big pastor or anything. There's so many friends that I've like gained like through being here, that I can just be like, yo, can I speak to you for
about this?
and then they may not give me the exact answer or the answer I thought I was going to get, but it goes a long way to helping me with soul searching to how to get better.
That's true. You know, well, we were speaking earlier before we started shooting about, I don't know if you feel comfortable to share the story about so the youth pastor and your friend, and you know how she reached out to the youth pastor before the police, like when she needed help.
Youth worker. Okay, so it was a colleague of mine, and her cousin had just been stabbed, and so just a bit of context. I'm part of the youth department in my church, and I always try to emphasize the youth leaders having relationships with the young people rather than doing a whole case of it benefits my reputation, but actually have genuine relationships with them, because it goes a long way. And so taking that outside of church now, bringing it into work, a colleague of mine, her cousin had been stabbed, and while she was essentially bleeding to death, she didn't call the police because of the area that they were in. The police in that particular area would not have taken her seriously or taken her concern seriously. So what happened was she ended up calling her youth worker. And because of the relationship that she has with her youth worker, that youth worker personally, don't know whether he went down to the police station with his car or called from a different area into that area. But essentially it it would have saved her if not for time like traffic and things like that. But it's just the whole concept of we think church is this whole thing of, oh yeah, stand on the pulpit, that's where my gift is serving. No, your gift is when you come off the pulpit as well.
True,
like
definitely.
people, you don't want to be that type of person whereby, and this is speaking for people that want to be pastors, deacons and all of those like title stuff. You don't want to be that type of person that, you know, you're amazing in your gift, but then your personality is terrible.
And you're not able to have that relationship with people.
And that's how you use people. So
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Get a couple of them.
And I feel like also like sometimes the church may sort of demonize like professional help.
Oh yes.
Jesus is all you need. You need to
You
get
need to
professional
seek
help.
professional help.
But it's like I can pray, but like you sometimes need professional help. You need someone who has studied human behavior and knows how to help you get to the roots of your issues in a way that like
It's
regular
okay to see a
everyday
therapist.
regular everyday human beings know. Like it's okay to seek help, it's okay to go to therapy. It doesn't make you any less of a Christian, any less of a person, or any less trusting in God. You just need someone who can give you actual tools to get through what you're currently going through. And sometimes like church might not be able to give you that. Like that's, it's just facts. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, like you're a bad Christian, like you don't trust God. It's just that did God not create therapists? Did God not give them the knowledge that they have?
That they have, exactly.
So it's meant to be, it's to serve you. And I feel like there should be less stigma around that. And especially in church, because I know that there can be stigma in church around seeking professional help for mental issues.
Unfortunately, that's not a norm now. So what do you think can be done to actually make that more of a norm, that okay, this is actually normal, you can actually seek professional help within the church, like for people to feel that okay, you're, you know, it's not just
I feel like it's by being vulnerable and being like you, like I struggled with that too, and I had to go to therapy for it because I didn't know what to do. So it's like hearing people around you like speak about these things more openly would encourage you to be like, okay, then I'm not a weirdo if I go to like therapy. I'm not less trusting of God. If someone I really respect in church
has done
can go
the
to
same,
therapy, then there's no problem with me going to therapy. So I feel like it's people just being open and vulnerable and honest. And I feel like just generally people feel like I can only speak if everything is going well in my life or everything is 100%. It's like, actually, let's normalize speaking about when things are not so great.
That's what we spoke about earlier, that it's not just about speaking about the positive, also speak about the negative and how you kind of, you know, rose up through that and, you know, went through it and got
and
through
even
it.
if you didn't rise up, like that's still okay.
that's still okay. Exactly. You can still learn from not rising up, right? And not having risen
every
up.
time rise, sometimes let me just sit down.
We don't sit down all the time, though.
I'll rise when I'm ready, but it's okay to just sit down sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for coming and speaking on this episode of the N.O.W show. So do you guys have any final words to our audience or any words of advice, just generally like as a young person going through the struggle that is life?
If you don't have the resources to go to therapy, or if you don't trust anybody because you feel like, and this is a real thing, how people perceive you sometimes plays in your mind as well. So there are amazing Instagram pages that has been fantastic. I mean, I know the reservations, but when it's done properly, it can be very good. Very beneficial. And I know for me, I always say this to like even the young people that I talk to, that one-to-one, that I journal, I do as much as I can with these therapist pages, and what they do is they provide templates. How are you today? How's your heart? Questions that you would think should be asked in church, they ask those questions. If you don't have the financial resources, there are other ways to find it. It's not always about money being a restriction. If you want to get something done, or if you want something, you'll find it around it. So
Thanks, Tariq.
I'd say like, let's not like deceive ourselves. Like, if we are struggling, let's be honest. Like, it's okay to go through stuff. Let's not think because you have something that's pressing, that's causing you to like have anxiety or feel low, like still address it. It's okay, but like be honest with yourself. And also when it comes to like social media and like accomplishments or accolades, as people like to say, like you're not defined by those alone. Like, it's great, and let's remember, like, each and every time that we see those things on social media, it's the best version of somebody's self. Like we don't know like what's happened to go through all of those things. And even if you are in that point where like you're not in a position to go and show everyone where you are, like this is probably your journey for you to now grow, to build yourself back up to something that you really could be, because like everyone has got something in them. But like unfortunately, like today we're kind of corrupt in the sense that with our whole idea and our mindset is being shifted by what we think the world thinks is success. So as long as we like remove that and try and just be honest with ourselves, we won't be like deceiving ourselves.
I would say be kinder to yourself, and I would also say, similarly to what you've said, like don't define yourself by anything external. Your worth doesn't come from anything external. It just comes from within. Like,
Cool. So thank you guys for joining us, and thank you to our audience for watching this episode of the Now Show. And I am Tami, your show, and we will see you at the next episode. Bye.